Hello and welcome to Chatting Shit about the Architect Cup. First of all, huge thanks to Dan and his guests for sorting out episode 1 while I was busy out in the middle of nowhere. And then thanks to everyone tonight for joining me on relatively short notice. I say relatively, I know some of you have had much less notice before. You've had, what, about an hour tonight, is that right?
Yeah, do you know, we've had a good amount of notice and I've still done no prep. So
I've had an hour, which is a bit more time than 2 minutes like last time. So, you know, I'm fully prepared now. That's before.
Well, what I'm quite looking forward to about this is that obviously it's the 30th of June as we record this, and normally I do my first Chatting Shit within the first couple of days, and I'm dead excited and I'm dead optimistic about the cup, and then it turns to shit, and then I feel bad. But having had a few practice games, I really, really like this cup. Don't know what you guys think.
I've done no practice yet, so I can't say.
Fine.
But what I have noticed about the cup is obviously it's a regionals meta, so it's a big month for everyone involved. We all kind of want that, you know, regional spot, see who wins and whatever. And we want to do a lot of prep this month to get over the line for it. But what is unusual is it's a very condensed meta. Normally with regionals metas, we get big, wide, open metas. This has 40 mons in total, I think.
Yeah.
It's pretty small, so it's about picking what works right and finding the best 6 from the lot and, working it out, really.
But and that's my issue with it, is that there's only 40 mons to pick from, and you have to pick 6. There's fuck all spice. and the spice that's there is actually just not usable. Like, there are Pokemon that they've put in that 40 which shouldn't even be there. There's literally no point in them being there. I think actually it might have been spoken about in the previous chat and shit. The likes of Bennett, and I love Bennett. I think it's a fantastic Pokemon. It's not great in Great League because it needs the bait move. I've used it in Ultra League and it's a load of fun. It's still not great, but you know me. But like things like that have literally zero place in the 40. Like, why is it there? What is it doing? It's taking a placeholder for something that could actually do something. And so, like, there's a few things like that have actually sort of pissed me off, where it's like, well, that's a useless in the 40, so it's not 40, it's 39. And as you go through it, you're like, well, it's not 39, it's 38, and so on. And yet there's no spice. And I'm just not happy at all. And, like, last month was great. Like, for me, last month was a regionals meta, or, like, because there was so much variety. Like, it was great. There was loads of fun Pokemon to use. There was fun team builds. Yeah, you got people that were going, fuck it, I'm going to go triple normal, Lickitung, Oranguru, Noctowl, Greedent, quadruple normal, screw it. Like, you know, and like, fair play. That's how some people like want to do it. But it's still, you know, left doors open where I can talk shit about Gligar, and people used it to good effect. And it was like, oh my God. I chatted shit about a Pokemon which people ended up using. First time ever.
Gligar was awesome last month. It was really good.
Wasn't it? It was so good. But yeah, this month I'm just like, I don't know, the meta came through and I just went, shit, there's 6 shadow Pokemon, that'll do. Like,
we know JC now, everyone.
I get what you're saying. But I do disagree slightly. I think, yes, Bennett, and I think Galarian Slowbro are completely pointless. I think there's an argument to be made that Donphan's pretty pointless as well. But beyond that, I can see an argument for everything. No, I think Typhlosion's got a point.
I think Typhlosion's good. I think it's got
I'm normally not a fan of Typhlosion. I think, why is that? But if you say it's good.
No, Glalie, I've talked about before. That's situational though. Yeah, it's not a bad mon. It's
in this cup.
It's never the best mon. That's the problem with Glalie.
Yeah. Okay, let's just go right. Ghosts. Why, when there's so much normal? No, like, don't want to make a spoiler here, but like, there's so much normal. Like, there's probably only one decent ghost available, and I think that might be getting talked about tonight.
No ghost tonight. I was going to pick one, but no.
Oh, right, okay. Oh, it's not getting. Well, there you go then.
Yeah. Are you sure?
Not even any.
Are you sure? Because I've prepped for a ghost type after I was told my original pick was banned.
What? Who said that?
What?
You said that I couldn't talk about my water type.
No, I didn't say that.
Oh,
I thought you were talking about your water type.
I thought you were talking
about your water type.
You're going to be talking about like the third best water type, Drew. God.
Yeah, you can talk about your water type, Drew. That's no problem. I didn't say that. That was Dan.
Right. Pump me down the order quick.
Okay, fine. You can go last. Right. Oh my God.
Going well, guys. Going
really well. Going really well.
Anyway, rant over.
But yeah, go on. Ghost types, Jay. Go on. You were saying.
Oh, well, I suppose like I've looked at the meta a bit. So like the overview of the meta is like obviously what is it? No steel, no fairy, no dragon, no electric.
No electric.
I think it's no electric. Yeah. So that's like equals more normals. So then. Like, and there's plenty to choose from as well. And I think on BB is Beware and Snorlax are like two top meta picks. So then it's like, why are you going to bother bringing a ghost? So then, sorry, I'll get to my point. You'll see where I'm going. So I know I've actually got a logic in my head that I've sort of gone off on a tangent with here. So you need a normal because you're going to like wall ghosts. And there's not really much bulk in the meta, so that's where the normals will come in. And then there's not really many fighters, but there are things that use fighting. So then that means that you've got normal, you've got fighters or something that use fighters, and then you've got flyers because you need the anti-fighter. And flying is largely unresisted. There's the odd rock, but then you've got water flyers, which then deal super effective to the rocks because of the water coverage moves. So like there is quite a good little like synergy going on of things where like it can actually like, oh no, it might be lined up against that, but I can do something against it, and so on. So then you're going to need a good anti-fighter that isn't a flyer, because hold on, I think I'm still on the right point.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So then so that would lead you to ghosts and psychic types.
Poisons.
But then your normal, poisons are okay. Poison, you got your bug poisons and you got your dark poisons, but your dark poisons aren't really anti-fighters. So then your bug poisons are your anti-fighters, but then you've got psychic, which will melt the bug poisons, unfortunately, because a lot of the bug poisons aren't very bulky. And you've got ghosts, which then leads you to my pick.
Fair. Well, hold on. It's a good segue, but I just want to, and we'll get back to it, but I just want to go back to this point about there being loads of normals. We've got what? We've got Beware, Snorlax, Munchlax, Licky, Castform. Oh, just off the top of my head, there's 5.
Linoon.
Yeah.
Linoon, fine. 6.
Yeah.
And have they they've all got ghost type moves, right?
Yeah. But they're all the same mon, like more or less. Yeah. So you're never going to see more than one on the opponent's team. So it's not like you're going to be walled out with a ghost. I think there is play for a couple of the ghosts. I agree there's some ghosts that are better than others. But yeah, I wouldn't be counting the ghosts out just yet, personally. Anyway, Jay, go on. Sorry to interrupt.
No,
your pick.
It's fine. So then I was just going to say, obviously, then if people want to start sticking in ghost and psychic types to try and counter the anti-fighter, but then the psychic is maybe the anti-normal better than a ghost because of more coverage to hit back the normal types, because the ghosts can't really hit back over them, like a Frostlass, for example, with the avalanche. Then that leads you to the dark poisons, which then help counter back up that sort of channel. Obviously, it struggles against a couple of things like the fighters, but some of them have coverage moves, so you can still hit back. But I'm just going full on. I don't care. Tap, tap, tap. Number 435, the skunk Pokemon, and it's going to be in the shadow variety, and it's going to have bite.
Oh, what a monster!
Discuss. And that was it.
Was not prepared for that.
I did the research into this, and I was like, oh, interesting. Why are you choosing that? And now I'm like, oh, that's why. Oh. Yeah. Well played, Jay.
Wow. I've got nothing to say to that. I've got nothing to say to that.
No, okay. Why are you doing this, Jay?
Because you literally chomp through everything, lad. Like 2 fields, Shadow, Bite, Skuntank beats like 80% of the meta.
Right, great idea. No, I'm gonna suggest.
And that's why you're going to pair it with normals for the bulk.
Well, what I was going to suggest was, why don't you do that with Drapion? Because people are going to you're going to assume they're going to be Poison Sting, and you've got.
How do you know I'm not going to do it with Drapion as well? My team currently is a Shadow Drapion, Shadow Gyarados, a Shadow Charizard, Shadow Sudowoodo, which I did have counter on, but after speaking to someone and after looking at the meta, Rockthrow looked really good.
Oh, I was hoping that was going to stay on the wraps, but fine, never mind.
Not there now, too late.
Yeah. I am going full tap, fast move pressure. Couple of
in there. Are you running Bite Alone and Muck while you're at it?
I mean, why not? But it's not
the best thing about this is you're going to the in-person one in London. And so someone's going to be
going to piss people off.
Yeah, someone's going to be sat opposite you while you're doing that.
And it's all because you didn't bring this bloody thing to the regional meta.
I was wondering why that was in the background.
Yeah, there you go.
Never too far away from a Crawdaunt, right? That's the.
I get like separation anxiety. Yeah. But but on a serious note as well, like I think the Dark Poisons are more. I mean, they're always a solid option. They're always seemingly good safe swaps. I like Skuntank just because it's got a bit more of a pressure about it with the poison jabs. So if it is up against like a fighting type, for example, then at least it can still do something back. Rather than like a Drapion can sometimes just feel like you're being walled, especially if it's Shadow, because 9 times out of 10 you're running Aqua Tail and Crunch if it's Shadow. So if you're up against something like a Poliwrath, then it's just like, well, they might as well just mudshot you down. So yeah, I just like that's got a bit of coverage. It's got the fire, the flamethrower as well, so it can hit back against its counterparts of Dark Poison.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Fair enough. I think you mentioned a bit of fast move pressure. I think there are some mons here, like someone spoke about it. Full disclosure, I haven't had time to watch the previous episode yet, but I know someone spoke about Milotic. And having fast move pressure that does that thing is really useful. It's really useful because it's one of those things that you see it on your opponent's team and you think, well, it doesn't really batter anything on my team, but actually, how am I going to beat it? And you can be sat there doing fast move damage, doing 0 fast move damage, and it shields, and like Milotic can be difficult to get out, can be difficult to take down. And there's other things like that here as well. Like unless you've got a dedicated counter to Pelipper, for example, that can be an issue. So like I think there's a lot to be said for fast move pressure here for sure.
I think another thing is, so like for example, so my Gyarados, or just if you've played me before with my Shadow Gyarados, you already know it's Dragon Tail. But like I think with things like the new update at the minute where you're guaranteed to sneak, I think having like different moves like that, where you can maybe gain an advantage, like someone mistimes the move or they try and throw an alignment of I'm getting 3 free turns rather than just 1. You think like trying to think about stuff like that as well. I think in my team building for this, I know that's going off into the bigger picture. But currently, like in GBL, every game, like if people throw an alignment still because they think they can deny you, and it's like, oh no, you've just given me like a free move, like, and that's not, or that's an incinerate gone through because you didn't deny me because you can't deny anymore. So unless people understand how to throw like during to the alignments rather than on alignments, then that things like that will work in the favour as well.
You mean to say you're running Shadow Gyarados that isn't using Bite?
Yes, I know. Shocker. I know. I mean, I could probably. I've got all 6, maybe all 6 of my Pokemon have access to Bite, but that would be interesting. No, I'm stupid, but I'm not that stupid. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes there's methods to me madness, and sometimes I'm just like, I don't know. I just went off on one there, and I was like, and then she just wrote it all down here, and was like. The types that are banned, arrows for where it goes, then it went Bite, Shadow, Skuntank. That was it. That was my
I actually misread the bottom there. I thought it said bring Crawdaunt back to start with.
Yeah, should have.
Oh dear. Drew, go on. What do you reckon?
I quite like Jay's shout of Skuntank. I still think Drapion is probably the go-to. The Shadow Drapion. It's just, I know I'm presuming it's a lot more fragile than Skuntank.
No.
Drapion. No?
There's
Not particularly, no. Yeah.
No. But Drapion outspans it, surely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, because it's Crunch, Sludge Bomb, Flame for Stunk Wares. I mean, if I was running Bite on my Drapion, then I'd be running Fell Stinger as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just think this meta is hit hard, hit fast. Basically backing up what Jay said about like Dragon Tail pressure, for example. Those fast moves like chunk. But equally, Drapion has that poison damage that can chunk, certain ones. And then obviously those Aqua Tails and even those crunches are coming rapid.
Yeah, they really do.
And you give something like a Drapion shield advantage, it could be GG's.
Yeah, I mean, although I have with my current 6, I have won a couple of games with my opponents still having 2 shields.
Oh God!
Flex.
So.
Well.
Wow. Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, when you said Skuntank, my first thought was, why is he going for Skuntank, not Drapion? I'll be honest, that was kind of the first thing.
Because everyone's
because you can,
and it's fucking boring. Like, it's a great
one.
Well, I can't. I mean, the other month it was at 80, and then it dropped to bloody 75, and I was like, what have I done? I was like, I literally don't know what I've done wrong. Like, I've used full on spice. I was like, nah, and they just decided on a recalc, and maybe not spicy enough. I'm like, you seen my trainer card?
Yeah, no, I think Skuntank's a nice shout. I think, like, I don't think you can compare it to Drapion. I really don't.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work the same.
No. Yeah, I think it's more comparable to something like Melodic, or where it's just difficult to kill. It's going to be consistent. Like, a bad matchup isn't ever going to be too bad. A good matchup is never going to be brilliant.
It's more a Alolan Muck than Drapion, isn't it?
I don't know. The more I think about it, like, Alolan Muck used to be one of my favourites, but the more I think about it now, I think I don't ever see a reason to run Alolan Muck. Now, if you were going to go Poison Jab, you'd go Skuntank. If you were going to go Snarl, you'd probably go Drapion. And that's it's a huge shame. I love Alolan Muck. It's been great for me in the past.
It feels like it's had its time, Alolan Muck.
Yes.
As much as that pains me to say that, because I used to use it a lot. But when I've been using it recently, when I've been using it recently, it just doesn't seem to work as well as it did for whatever reason. I think it's just the metas have moved, and people have moved more towards Drapion. Maybe that might be a factor, but Alolan Muck just hasn't worked as well recently. Full stop.
Yeah.
Do you think a lot of it's got to do with the whole acid spray? Obviously, bait move. People have gone down that route, and because a lot of streamers, I play a lot of Ultra League when I can, and I've noticed everyone is running acid spray,
poison jab.
And the thing is, a lot of people aren't even, building up to a potential sludge bomb. They're just literally going 1, 2, 3, 4, X amount of taps, boom. And you're just sat there, you're like, well, this is acid spray, no shield. And they pretty much lose the game because, it's just so predictable now. And I think a lot of people are kind of cottoning on. I don't think, it's just a simple thing of counting. It's a generic play style. You kind of think outside. Go on, Jake.
They bring back Gunk Shot. We want Gunk Shot on our Alolan Mucks. I used to love that.
But yeah, I just think people are too predictable now, if anything. I think thinking outside the box with movesets. I saw about 10 minutes of the first episode before Brewer summoned us.
You rang.
They were, they were talking about. I think it was Kev was talking about, these different movesets that you can run in this cup and how it can flip a lot of different matchups. You know what I mean? I've literally just quickly looked at my pick for later. And again,
5 different moves on your pick that you could run, in my opinion.
It depends which pick he's gone for.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I might just do 2. I might just do both.
We'll see what the times say. We'll see.
We can get through all 40 here if you want.
Yeah.
But no, my designated pick. What you said, Matt, it could run 5 different moves.
I think it's got 2 fast moves, 3 charge moves. Yeah.
Yeah. If it is what I think it is, if not, I'm agreeing something crazy.
Stu's now running acid leaps. That's what Stu's doing. But
no, I agree with what Kev was saying in the last episode. I think, this meta is really condensed. I think it's very, my personal opinion, I'm not going to hate too much, but I think it's quite poor for a regional meta. I was quite disappointed.
So I have the opposite feelings. I think it's quite, like, last month was fun. Like, it was really fun, but it felt to me like there was a big element of luck of the draw. Like, you could face teams that you had no chance of winning, and you could face teams that you were always going to win. Like, there was, and I wouldn't want that for regionals personally.
I think there is some middle ground. I think
there is. I think this is more like Firefly, where it's condensed, but there's a bit more choice than Firefly.
I haven't even played Firefly. That's how good that was.
Do you know? And don't crucify me for this, but I really enjoyed Firefly by the end of it. I really enjoyed.
You're an absolute degenerate.
I didn't enjoy Firefly, but I did do really well in it. I don't know why, it just suited me quite well. But I enjoyed Forged a lot more, and I did all right in Forged actually.
Do you know what?
Yeah, go on.
Sorry, Stu. Do you know what though? With Matt saying, like he enjoys Firefly or enjoyed Firefly, that I speak to kind of the same people, not necessarily daily, but frequently, around PvP, and it's always the same people that like things like Firefly. There was what was the other meta? The other terrible meta this season?
Guardian.
Yes.
Don't say that.
You had about Sheep Cal, aren't you? That's the other.
Well, that's one of them. Ferg was another. So basically, those two, they mirror each other. So they both love Firefly. They both love Guardian. They love Prismatic.
They do.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I hated Prismatics. I'm staying out of that one.
Yeah.
I'm leaving the ship at that point.
But it does make me think now, is it a certain kind of meta, and those kind of metas appeal to a smaller percentage of the PvP player base? And I mean, because the rest of us think they're shit, let's be honest.
Some people enjoy playing RPS.
Well, some people are good at it, quite clearly.
Sorry. No, hold on. To be fair, it's more they build what looks like an RPS, but then they might not play the RPS.
Yes, exactly. They know how to break it.
You're luring someone into the RPS and then you break it. So sometimes it's easy to judge and go, you just built an RPS team, however you won. But then there is other levels to it, and I think, to be fair, the likes of Cal and that, they are, and as they've proven this season, the top battlers. So.
They're above it, yeah, for sure.
It's just not, it's just unfortunate they like things like fucking Hypno.
Drag them.
Yeah. I was just going to say one last thing about Skuntank before Matt continues saying how great this meta is. The other reason why I'm sort of I've lent towards it over Drapion is because everyone is so used to Drapion. The counts for it. Like, how many people know how many poison jabs there is to a flamethrower? Sneaking a poison jab is more fast move damage as well in comparison to poison sting. Obviously, I know the energy generation can sometimes be more important for flipping it, but poison jab still, energy wise isn't bad. And also, if you've hit them with a crunch debuff, poison jabs are adding up. So I just think it's you're testing someone's knowledge of facing something that they're probably not as comfortable facing. As if I see a Drapion on someone's team, I know what's coming.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, I think that's a really solid argument. Really, really strong one in general, I think. Okay, 8 minutes left of this call. Drew, are we holding you till the end again, Drew, or are you?
Yeah, hold me to the end. At the moment, I've got Poly number 62, Vanilla picks up Beware, Scald DP, Ice Punch DP, Reg versus Vanilla. That's all I've got right now.
See, the problem is you've now spoiled it because now we know what you managed. So I'm gonna ask you to go now.
Bollocks.
Go on, you can do it.
That was a trap, bro.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't. It was a. So I'm gonna have to stop the video and start again in a minute.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah, that's what it was.
Then you've just given a full spoiler, and it's like, well, go on then.
Yeah, you've got 7 minutes to sell it us, and then we'll come back and roast you after the break. That's.
So yeah, I picked Poliwrath Pokedex number 62. I was meant to be doing another mon until I realised I wasn't.
No, you weren't. So, yeah, you never were.
I don't even know what the other mon was.
No, nor do I.
You always say Poliwrath in my head.
So yeah, PV Poke recommends Ice Punch, Dynamic Punch. I do not recommend that. I mean, I'm always wrong, but I fancy Scald Dynamic Punch. I briefly said earlier, a hit hard, hit fast kind of meta. How valuable could an attack drop be in flipping a matchup in this meta? You guys might know the answer to this. I don't know what the percentage rate of the debuff is with Scald.
Is it 30?
I was going to say 20, but
I think it's 30. But
well, it ain't 30% from me. That's what I'm saying. It probably ain't. But yeah, I think Scald Dynamic Punch. I think you need Dynamic Punch here for the normal types. That's a given.
Yeah, you need Dynamic Punch.
As I said in my little rant about a few minutes ago, the Vanilla picks up Beware, which I think is huge. And it's actually the regular Poliwrath versus the Shadow. The matchup versus Beware is huge. You're talking, I think the battle rating is like 600 in your favor with the regular, and you're kind of at like minus 300 for the Shadow. So you're talking like a 900 swing in battle rating, if that's how it works, but we'll roll with it.
I'm assuming
I think you've over-exaggerated that.
Probably.
It's probably to do with probably bait dependence as well.
Yeah,
I think it's 600, 300, not 600 to minus 300.
Well, no, because obviously you're effectively losing, aren't you, at 300? So yeah, you're right. Actually, yeah, ignore me.
Yeah.
But I mean,
you were being yeeted out the game.
I just, I have no prep time. Leave me alone. I'm on edge. But no, I love Poliwrath. I think normally I really plug the Shadow. I spoke about it some point this season, some meta. And it was great that that's the one. Yeah. Thank you. It was fantastic there. It's not going to be as fantastic here because I think it's no secret the king of the water types here.
Is it?
Is Pelly.
Okay, I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah. It's not, yes, or there is another one, but, no spoilers. But I think Pelly is number one, closely followed by another pick that we're talking about this evening. And I think Polly's probably number 3. In terms of it will lose to a lot here. Shadow Beedrill, I think that's going to be a popular pick. Mm-hmm. Loses to that. It's going to lose to anything that can learn wing attack, for example. And yeah, it's not really one I go for. I normally go proper meta tryhard, but I think, correct me if I'm wrong, in the rankings, both the regular and the Shadow are pretty low ranked. I think the Shadow is actually 34th out of 40.
Yeah, Shadow is 34, the regular is 21.
You know what I mean? So
that's solid. That's solid.
Yeah, I'm in the bottom half. That's spice.
Yeah,
I wouldn't go that far. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Do you guys have any thoughts on movesets in terms of, double punch versus, say, Scald Dynamic Punch, or have an alternative?
Before we go any
punch.
I think
Yeah, talking about
Ice punch, tornado punch.
Power up punch, or
Drew, did you use Poliwrath in Nemesis?
Of course he did.
You said you were going to. I'm just wondering how it worked for you there.
Nemesis, give me a rundown of what the meta was, because
That was me. You had to pick one fighter and one anti-fighter, and then Wolverine Galv.
Wolverine Galv. Blaze was a fire.
Crustle and the pink triangle. Wormadam.
Was that this season?
Yeah,
it was 2 months ago. I mean, I have tried to forget about it, but no, it was this season.
Right, so I've got my Sylph card up now. Flynn, Shadow Poliwrath.
There you go.
Jim, Shadow Poliwrath.
Okay, you ran it.
Belton, Shadow Poliwrath.
Yeah, we get the idea. You ran Shadow Poliwrath.
I did 6 tournaments, and I got 2 sweeps out of those 6 tournaments.
Ooh!
Wait. What? How many rounds were the sweeps, lad? Come on.
They were 2 4-0s, but you know.
Well, yeah, come on.
No, they're good. No, that's a sweep. A sweep's a sweep.
It's a gold medal. On my card.
So the point is, it worked well for you, right? That's all I'm trying to get out of you.
Yeah. And I'm looking at kind of the stuff that I ran in that meta in my 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of the 6 mons appear in this meta.
I'm just going to make a note of that and then tell everybody that's in your regionals.
That's fun, you know.
But it's a completely different meta. Are you trying to say?
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying it's.
Oh, right, okay.
I'm just saying that 4 plus Poliwrath appeared in that meta. You know, because they were in my team, and that team did well. So
the synergy is there. You know the synergy.
Yes, that's one thing. But also, there's a good chance I come up against those mons, you know, with Poliwrath at times, and you know, 2 sweeps. Yeah, they were only 4 rounders, but
I'm already messing up.
No, it's all right.
So I sweat nothing in Nemesis. You're fine. I've no leg to stand on.
But no, Poliwrath's just a bit of a monster. I just love it. I wouldn't go to.
No, I really like it.
I wouldn't go to Jay's level of Crawdon love. That's my Galv, but Poliwrath is up there. I really do rate it.
For sure.
It's just. I mean, there's not much counter damage here either, is there? Or fighting damage. Beware superpower.
Malamar superpower. That's about it. Sudowoodo counter. That's it.
Yeah. So. I mean, that alone.
Snorlax
superpower.
Yeah, true, yeah. But then the question is, if you're going to run a counter mon / fighting mon, why not pick the one that beats the rank 1 of the whole meta? I mean, I know it's quite niche and it's quite maybe narrow-minded to go with that view.
No.
But that's just the way I play. You know, I will see that top threat. So yeah, I see the top threat, and obviously I go to counter it. Dynamic punch, as I keep saying, is fantastic against the normal types here. I don't think we'll see that many Snorlax. I think Munch will be a lot better here. Jay,
I disagree.
I'm not convinced by that.
Are you going on the basis that because of superpower?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Bulldoze is a shit move. Takes too long to get to. You can have the shadow.
You can have the shadow.
Gunk shot. You get that takes even longer to get to than bloody Bulldoze, or is it the same energy? There's still a lot of energy.
No, it's longer. It's longer.
Yeah. So it's like, I mean, obviously the body slam spam is great, but I like Snorlax because you got the it's a Swiss Army knife. You can run Outrage, because that's not going to be resisted by anything. You can run Earthquake, you can run Skull Bash, or if you're sane, you'll run Superpower and Body Slam.
But again, Poliwrath picks that up. I know Snorlax nick damage is more towards your ghosties. So yeah, again, it's kind of different mons, different jobs. But yeah, why not just pick up the mon that beats the top threat? And then if you've got kind of a really good answer for, the number one ranked mon, because there will be loads of people at Run Beware. Because if the meta kind of goes away from, everyone's going to Run Beware, I'll counter Beware, and then supplement my team with a Ghost or two, thinking that no one else will Run Beware, then Ghost could become quite destructive.
I think Beware being rank 1 is really interesting, actually, because sorry to go off on a bit of a tangent here.
That's okay.
Because how often do we look at these metas and see the number 1 ranked mon, and by the end of the month, the number 1 ranked mon feels pretty useless because it's counted like so hard it's barely worth bringing. I don't see that happening here with Beware. I think Beware's pretty solid.
Yeah, I guess I've never used it. I don't know.
I have used it.
I did a bit.
I haven't used it, but I've played against quite a few. So
yeah, and they're not. Yeah. It's not an easy one to play against.
No.
It's more bulky than I realised.
Yeah, it's really bulky.
And the stomps do a bit more damage than you're expecting to be, because you only see stomps from Tropius or Kangaskhan. You still expect it to do nothing.
Hey, don't hit on Kanga. It's in my Kanto Cup team at the moment.
I mean, it's on Licky as well, but for those that don't have Body Slam.
Yeah, because we've all got a Licky tongue that doesn't have Body Slam.
Oh no.
Yeah. But yeah, I just love Poly. Like I think it's gonna be good here. Yes, it's gonna be completely shut down by your Pellies, your Beedrills.
What is it though? Is it though? Because you've got Ice Punch potentially.
No,
Pelly.
No. Don't be predictable.
I mean, can I just if you're running the Shadow, have you seen how much a Dynamic Punch does off to a Shadow Pelly? Sorry, to a Pelly off a Shadow Poly.
Probably about 55.
It does. I don't know if it does, maybe it does 40%. But it still does.
Yes.
I always overcompensate.
It's still not.
That's what Lindsay said.
That's still not great. Considering it's Dynamic Punch, I'm a bit disappointed by that. I'm not gonna lie.
But if you think about it being resistors, and then if you take in Ice Punch as a consideration, it's not stab, and it's not super effective, and it does less. So it's you're in what is a losing matchup.
Yeah.
So I just scanned through the 40 Pokemon then, and I was like, what? There's the odd grass type, like a Jumpluff and a Trevenant, and probably something else I can't remember now. So that's Credilli.
Yeah, but you've got Dynamic Punch, haven't you?
Dynamic Punch, so that's irrelevant, and you'd throw them over the Ice Punch. Well, you definitely throw the Dynamic Punch. So it's for me, Dynamic Punch and Scald's definitely the right moveset.
Yeah, I think it's definitely the best moveset. Yeah, I think I just think you could build the team in such a way where it might be. There are situations where there's arguments for Ice Punch.
Of course.
And what I was intrigued by was Bubble, to be honest.
Come on, Matthew. Come on.
Why Bubble?
Okay.
Bubble?
No, so I looked at The Sims briefly on the bus on the way home when Drew told me that he was running Poliwrath. He was going to pick Poliwrath because he wasn't ever going to pick anything else. It was always going to be Poliwrath, right? And I was looking at Frostlass because there's not much there.
That's what my second pick was going to be.
Frostlass is great.
That's what I thought you were talking about, to be honest.
Thank you.
That was why I turned around before and was going on about there's only one probably decent-ish ghost, and that's
I've actually got,
some she can hit the normals back because the avalanches will.
I mean, we all know that Frostless is always good, right? Frostless is always good. There's nothing more to say on that. But yeah, I was thinking Bubble for Frostless, but no,
Bubble for Frostless.
You
mean just to face it?
Yeah. Bubble for Poliwrath for Frostless. But in actual fact, I think you are just better running. Because that would allow you to run Ice Punch if you wanted something to have a bit more spam against Pelipper. So I don't think that matchup is as good for Pelipper as people think it is, because, Weather Ball's doing nothing. And it's not like Wing Attack is Ghost. But Yeah, so I was looking at that, but I think you are just better from the Mudshot Scald. But if I faced the Poliwrath and it was running Bubble, Ice Punch, Dynamic Punch, I wouldn't be completely taken aback with surprise. I think there's probably some sim out there that makes it worthwhile, but I don't know. But that's the nice thing about.
I was running Hydro Pump on my Poly in Guardian.
How long did it take to get there? An eternity?
It's not too bad with Mudshot.
18 turns, isn't it? That's pretty solid.
Yeah.
But the one thing I do like, and it's not as far as I'm aware, because no one, let's be honest, knows what they're picking, or I don't at least. Celio.
Wow.
Well, Celio is just OP. Like,
I think it's going to be an absolute bastard this month.
I mean, Celio's been great in pretty much every meta it's been allowed in.
Exactly.
It's just been a bit of a sleeper, and people have sort of gone, oh yeah. And then Wall Rain came along, and then everyone's gone, fuck me, Wall Rain. Obviously, Icicle Spear is a ridiculous move.
I use Celio
pretty much.
I use Celio in Tempest Cup, which is what the
so did I.
Third ever Stealth meta.
Yeah.
How good was it? Even back
it was
then?
really good. Yeah. I used Celio in Tempest. I used it in. Oh, something that. I remember using it a lot in Timeless. That was season 2.
Yes.
But yeah, no, I did use it. I did use it in Tempest. Yeah,
it was a thing in Sorceress as well. I didn't use it in Sorceress, but it was good there.
Yeah, it was more spice in Sorceress, but you did see them.
Yeah, Glacial, it was solid in. Yeah, I think Celio's going to be. I think Celio's going to be big.
Shadow Celio with Water Gun.
But again, Poliwrath's having a field day there. All right, body slams are going to chunk a little bit. But
body slams will add up. They will add up.
Yeah, they will add up. But we're a match up for Poliwrath every day of the week.
You're not taking a Celio. You're not taking a Celio to counter your Poliwrath, though.
I bet the 2s is close. I bet the 2s is really close.
But it's not about you not taking it. But at some point there's going to be some unfavourable matchup for your opponent, and that's my point. Poly, and this is why I kind of like Scold as well. You're going to get yourself in that tricky spot. If you're going to
Scold Beta Celio.
No.
It's true. Don't say that. True. You've literally done that against me in practice. Don't say no.
That's what I think. That's going for a debuff, mate. That's going for a debuff for my next mon not to take so much damage.
All right, okay.
Go for the 30% chance. I looked it up. It's 30% by the way.
Yeah, okay.
I was doing crunches on Greedable last month.
Yes, I remember that too.
Slam all the way through. And
that's a thing. Yeah,
you're a disgrace. That's yeah.
It's using the strats. It's using the playing percentages.
Yeah, you play the percentages. Like the night / boost on cooldown percentages.
Shadow
on Gligar.
Every time.
I had 3 night / boosters on Gligar against me in one game against a person who is watching this and they know who they are, and I'm still livid. Thank you.
Connor, is it Connor?
No, it's not Connor.
I heard he took all my boosts and just started using them on everyone this month.
Shadow Celio versus Poliwrath.
Here we go. Piss on my parade.
No. Poliwrath wins all the events, obviously, but Zeros it's pretty close. Zeros, you're leaving Poliwrath with about 15% health. It's close to another Dynamic Punch, but if you've got Pelipper to farm it down, that's not a terrible Zeros. But that's the thing with Celio, right? And it's the same with Snorlax. No, there's never a bad Zeros matchup with Celio or Snorlax.
Yeah, I feel like Celio and Lapras, like shadows of both as like safe swaps, have a lot of play in this meta.
Sure. Well, let's move on to Stu's pick before. I think we've probably through for long enough.
He's like, I'm bringing Galv next time. It's banned.
Galv anyway. Yeah. So my pick is Pokédex number 130. Didn't even look that up because I love this one so much. It's everybody's favourite. It's Gyarados. I love the Gyarados. It's great. I mean, you can find Magikarps everywhere. Sure, it takes a while to evolve it, but you can get Gyarados eventually, and you get good IV ones. And are they amazing or are they not? I mean, can use them in Great League, use them in Ultra League, can use them in Master League. You get Mega Evolves. Like, it's great in main series. Like what could possibly go wrong? He's one of the OGs. It's like in every game, you get your Magikarp, you get your Gyarados, and then you're loving life. Case closed.
Getting emotional, Stu. So much nostalgia.
I've used Gyarados a lot over the years, I'll tell you that. But no, I talk about it because it's really useful in the Architect Cup. And all I'm going to say...
Is that what we're talking about?
I'm just using this as a getaway to finish it right up. But it is really useful in the Architect Cup. I'm going to say 3 words. Unresisted Dragon Breath. Discuss.
Yeah,
is that scary or is that not?
Yeah. First thing I said was double Dragon Breath team. Like straight away, I was like, no steel, no fairies. I was like, bink, double Dragon Breath team.
Yeah. And I mean, Gyarados has 2 weaknesses. It's weak to electric. Where are the electric types? Where are the electric moves?
Muck is a monster.
Oh, aside from that little snort, aside from that, fine. And then
there is other stuff, I'm sure there is.
Thunder Bannoon. Yeah, no one's getting there. And Thunder Banette, and that's it. As Jay was saying quite passionately earlier, now it's range Thunder Banette. Yeah.
But they're not. Where are the electric fast moves? There you go. That's another way of looking at it. There's none. Yeah. And weak to rock, not many rocks around. I mean, off the top of my head, there's normal cast form with Weather Ball. That could be a pain. Sudowoodo. Credilli.
You need Phil for that.
You need Phil. But
for the impression.
That's my best attempt with no Phil.
Respectable, yeah.
But ultimately, Gyarados, great mon. I think it's going to be amazing this month. Aquatail Crunch combo. I mean, it's always great. It works well on Drapion, works well on Gyarados. It is, I believe, Aquatail and Crunch they've only both resisted by 1 mon in the cup, which, funny enough, we've already talked about tonight.
Poliwrath.
And another fun fact about Poliwrath, it still loses to Gyarados. So...
Because it's throwing resisted back.
I don't always pick a mon that beats Poliwrath, but it does feel like it sometimes.
That means you see it as a threat. I take that as a compliment.
Oh, nice.
Yes, you tell yourself that, Drew.
So you obviously like Gyarados as well, Jay. Have you got anything to say on Gyarados?
Yes. Tell yourself that while you get Dragon Breath down.
Yeah, I've used it in. I used it in Nemesis Cup. I really enjoyed it. And yeah, like there's different. Yeah, you put a bite on it, like he said.
Hello. This is not the angle I was going for, but
I've gone for the Elite TM of Dragon Tail, and so I won't be changing it back to Dragon Breath just because I've used an Elite TM now. So I'm stubborn. But yeah, I mean, any argument for outrage? I
don't think so. I think I like the spam
because it's not resisted.
Yeah,
because it's not resisted. So
what's resisting Aquatail here?
Water types. So Pelipper, Quillfish. I'm just trying to name water types in the cut now.
Poliwrath, Pelipper, Quillfish,
Celio, and Lapras.
Which you're probably losing to anyway. I think outrage might be a shout. I'm sure I saw someone run one with Twister because it was faster.
Exactly. Is it not hit fast now?
No, but Twister doesn't
Twister's
hit
a
fast.
terrible move.
Twister is terrible. I'm not disputing that, but I'm more for the Aquatail Crunch line.
Yeah. I mean, that's a tried and tested combo which works well.
I guess hit hard, hit fast. You've got your Dragon Breath and Aquatail spam, and then you just take them by surprise. Take them by surprise with the outrage if you get to it.
Yeah.
I think that's the prerogative.
Sure. But Gyarados isn't that. I think Jay and I both used Gyarados last month, right? It's not one of those ones that you attach your win conditions to. You don't think, right, Gyarados is going to carry me through this game. And if it doesn't, you feel really let down. Gyarados is one of those ones.
You normally invest in shields in it, and they're not really investing them back. So then you're like, shit.
Yeah. Gyarados is one of those ones where it's either going to come in clutch or it's going to fail miserably. And if you're going to go all in like that, why not go for outrage? Because there's going to be a time when you're going to be in half health and the Poliwrath's going to come in, and the Poliwrath is going to beat you. And it might not happen like that if you've got outrage. I see it as a serious upside to Outrage, whereas I don't know that upside exists for Crunch, personally.
But there's ghosts about though, you know. I just think.
But come on, Stu. You're doing Dragon Breath and you're doing
Ghost.
Yeah, and you're doing Dragon Breath and Aqua Tail anyway. That's going to be enough.
Defense drops. That's what you want. I'm all about the debuff. I'm all about
playing the percentages.
Yeah.
I can't say anything because I love Crawdons, but but like I'm just not convinced that you're going to see. Like I reckon you'll get tournaments and like maybe every 5 teams someone will have a ghost on and they'll regret their life choices.
I don't know. I think Frostlass has a lot of play here.
Yeah, I agree.
Gyarados beats it. It's fine.
Frostlass is more of an ice than a ghost, let's face it.
Yeah, but I do agree with what Jay's saying. I think Frostlass is the only ghost type you can bring.
Yeah.
I agree with Jay saying I personally can't see another ghost type that I could bring.
I think Gengar has a right to play.
Oh, but that is like the ultimate glass cannon. Like
but that's fine. Like
one of Jay's bite mons go tap for 2 seconds instead.
Gengar's after this video.
I'm gone.
Yeah, as long as you go into it knowing that you're using Gengar, that's fine. As long as you're going into it thinking you're using Bastiodon, then that's one thing. But you know what you're letting yourself in. Just because of the charge move variety, like with Gengar.
I feel like this Gengar
variety, bit of hex on the go.
A bit of hex.
Yeah.
I feel like Gengar is one of those mons that Brewer will run in 1 or 2 tournaments and he'll be like, I'm having an all right month. I'm 4-0 up out of 4 rounds in this one, blah, blah, blah. And he'll get to his Gengar teams and he's like, 3-1 down.
I'll drop out of there.
Drop out, done. But he'll still swear blind that Gengar wasn't the cause of this. Player got lucky. I made a shit play.
All these bloody shadow bite Skuntanks everywhere.
Okay, Stu.
Gyarados.
Obviously, Show's the type with Pelipper. Are you picking it over Pelipper, with Pelipper? Why?
I mean, I'm going to be honest, Pelipper's already been picked, so I'm banging on the wall, flying jumpers, saying it's really good.
Is there
I was hoping that was going to come up.
Yeah, is there room for the double?
Why not? Why not? Are you going to ask me why now?
No, I think it's a solid. I think it's a solid strat. You know, you can try and draw out like the Credilli.
Yeah. I mean, how many rock type? I'm going to say rock type because it's a weakness. How many rock type counters are going to be on a team in?
Well, you're only going to have one rock type on a team.
Yeah, that's the point.
Rock typing is so terrible, and something like a Sudowoodo.
And they're still weak to the water move anyway. They're still weak to weather ball, aqua tail. They're going to have to shield and you're going to outpace.
So unless you're a Credilli. So
what about that rock throw fast move that Jay chucked out earlier? Does that flip?
I was hoping that we forgot about that because I realised it's built a secret strat.
I mean, you say it's a secret strat. It's genuinely a good strat because. No. The point I'm making is that you obviously need Gyarados and Pelipper. I think are going to be everywhere this month. I really do. So I think you have to bring some answer to it, or 2 answers to it, or even 3 answers to it. You got to find a way to do it. Whether that just be to pressure of charge moves or type coverage, because type coverage can be difficult with them. So So I think honestly the strategy of bringing both might not be a bad one. Normally, I'm not a big fan of doubling up on types or anything, but I think it might.
Oh, have we lost Stu?
We've lost Stu.
So
well, we're trying to regain Stu.
He's not a fan of classic ABB lines.
No.
He doesn't GBL. You can tell.
Because... He's back. He's back.
So, sorry, I was carrying on, and then all of a sudden I just heard, "Oh, we've lost Stuart." I was like, "Oh no, where did I go? What was I talking about?"
You were saying how you're not a fan of doubling up.
No, I mean, normally I'm not a fan, but I think it could just work really well here because of the meta is small and you can't cover everything that easily, and it's a good strat this time, I think.
And I think as well, when you consider the few counters that are out there, when you look at Sudowoodo, you look at Cradily, you look at Muck, like you could. I mean, I'm not standing here advocating to run Sandslash, but like they share ground weaknesses. Like all the counters to these things have shared weaknesses, so you can protect them. You can protect your double up well if you wanted to go down that route.
I haven't gone down this discussion too much, but I'm just thinking if you go and bring too many counters to Peli/Gyarados, then surely you're going to leave other weaknesses somewhere else as well.
Yeah. So this is what kind of worries me about the meta in general. You know, you make that call to go, ABB, or you run 6 generalists to kind of, get maximum coverage.
But that's what I like about this cup. If you run 6 generalists to avoid having big holes in your team, maybe one of your mons is going to exploit a big hole that your opponent might have.
But the issue I was going to get to, sorry, Matt, was I think if people go 6 generalists, not everyone, obviously, a good chunk of players will have 5 of the same 6 mons, I think. Definitely 4. And maybe, some people will be a bit experimental and try and run some counters to what I think is going to develop into the core meta. We had a practice battle, you saw my team and you're like, oh, this is what I suspected the meta is going to be.
Yes. I did say that, yes.
And I'm an idiot. So if I'm calling the meta, the smart players are going to call the meta. It's whether
did you call the meta last month?
I did with Greedon.
Greedon was good. Greedon was good last time. I'll give you that.
To counter that point,
so we need to start paying Drew.
to counter that point, Drew, I said about your team, I thought that'd be what the meta be, what the meta would be. How did that match go?
You probably kicked my ass. I think you won 2-1.
4-1. But
we played we played extra battles, didn't we? Yeah.
And I used the same team 4 times out of 5.
Did you?
Yeah, and there wasn't. Yeah, and you couldn't stop it. But anyway,
do you know what? We used when me and Philly Jim Bob used to scrim ages ago, like when I was first starting out in PvP, and we'd be practicing, and then he'd pick a line of 3, and then until I beat it, he'd just keep using it, and it takes me like three times of facing it, going, shit, he's using the same team here.
Yeah.
And then by that point, it was too late. I was like, oh,
I had that with Elfidel in the same back in the day. Yeah. But Gyarados, any final thoughts on Gyarados? If not, we'll move on.
It's just going to be really good here, and I think you want to pair it with spammy things because Gyarados, you'll get you through the Aquatels and everything, and like just fire off the charge moves this month. You want to get hit hard and fast, as Drew said.
Yeah, no, I really like it. Spammy, oppressive.
I prefer it to Pelipper.
Do you?
I do.
Oh, hello.
I think I prefer it as well, but I don't necessarily know if it's going to be better.
I think I might prefer it as well. I think I might have talked myself into it live on camera. Great.
Pelly will be better.
Well, Gyarados will beat Pelly, right?
Yeah, just because Gary beats Pelly doesn't mean it's a better mon.
I know.
I've been told this on chat before.
I'm looking at positives.
Well, I'm just being negative Nelly tonight, all right? You can all shit on my pick.
Okay. Well, my pick is in a similar vein to the conversation we've just been having, and my pick is number 6, and that is Charizard. I assume it's number 6. Like, I'd like to think my Pokemonologist is strong enough to know that to be able to work out that Charizard is number 6.
You're good.
Yeah, okay.
I know Charmander's number 4 because every time I look for 4 stars in my decks, it's the first thing that pops up. So.
Okay. Well, I reckon I'm safe in saying that Charizard is number 6 in the Pokédex. All the reasons that Stu has just given about Pelipper pretty much apply to Charizard. Because you can run Dragon Breath if you want to. You can run Fire Spin if you want to. You can run Wing Attack if you want to. You can run Ember, which I know is the hip thing, the in thing.
Look at Jay nodding his head.
even though I think my personal opinion on Ember is that it makes the 2s much better at the risk at the at the expense of everything else, and that's not the way you should be playing PvP, in my opinion. So I don't fancy Ember. You could even run Air Slash, which is good for fast move damage.
Shut up! You can't talk down Ember and then talk up Air Slash.
Air Slash is not that different. It's not that much less energy per turn than Wing Attack. It really isn't.
And it's not Elite TM, is it?
It's not an Elite TM.
No.
Exactly. And so there's options with Charizard.
Yeah.
You can use it to run. You can use it with a flying move to beat the fighters, including Poliwrath. Although if it has Scald, it's probably a bit. You
can twos for it with Dragon Breath if you've got Shadow.
Oh well, there you go. That's nice to know. You can run it with a fire type move to take on Frostlass and twos through Frostlass, which there aren't many hard Frostlass counters in. It is a hit hard and fast meta here for sure. Dragon Claw doesn't hit hard. Blast Burn does. Like you having Charizard on your team, if you lead it, for example, and then save switch out, all of a sudden your opponent isn't ever using shields because they need to save a shield for that Blast Burn. And you can use that in your favour. Like you can pair it with Pelipper, land a Hurricane on something potentially. There's the psychological stuff. There's mind games you can play once you've revealed Charizard, and it fits on the team nicely in that you can use it to beat what you need it to beat. Yes, you screwed versus Poliwrath unless you're running a flying. Well, if you're running the move that beats Frostlass, you're going to struggle versus Poliwrath. If you're running the moves that beats Frostlass, you're going to struggle versus Poliwrath versus Frostlass. But it makes it so versatile, and it's a really good B drill counter. And there's not a great deal of stuff that's really good versus B drill here. Because when you look at outside of Pelipper and
Golbat,
okay, Golbat. But Venom. So I practiced a bit with Venomoth. I've practiced a bit with Shadow Venomoth, and it's kind of awkward with all the dark poisons around. Drill Run hurts actually, and with the confusions being non-stab, even with the Shadow, you don't always kill it in time. So that's an issue. And then also, like Stu was saying about the lack of electric type moves for Gyarados and Pelipper, and I do think Muck is going to be popular. I think Muck's a beast. I do think Muck's going to be popular, and I'd rather not die to a Thunder Punch. Which, yes, I'm weak to Thunder Punch with Charizard, but I'm not going to be one shot by it. Golbat also, as Drew was saying, has the same thing, but it doesn't quite have the again with all the poison types here. I don't think Poison Fang is as good as it often is, which is part of the reason I was having trouble with Venomoth. And so I just think Charizard has a much bigger upside. And there's the versatility and fast moves to make it fit your team better. If I had to enter a team tournament tomorrow, in my regionals tomorrow, would I pick Charizard? No. But give me 10 days or whatever to make a team, and there might be that Charizard shaped hole at the end of it where I think, yeah, you know what, we'll go with Charizard. Because it's a beast. Like it hits really, really hard.
It's in my team currently. So I've only got one draft, and it was the night it dropped, and I just went, like I said before, just bing. But I've had loads of fun using it. I've used a Shadow one with Dragon Breath, and because I couldn't be bothered using the charged TM Elite, I've got Overheat on it, which is fucking hilarious when you hit a Poliwrath. Yeah. Which I have done.
Yeah, my Shadow Dragon Breath has Overheat.
How much does it do to a Poliwrath?
I think it did about 70%.
Oh yeah, it's good.
It would probably be like a Kanto Ninetales, for example, doing exactly the same. I'd imagine.
Oh, we do love a Kanto Ninetales.
Much harder.
More than that, yeah. Charizard's got a high attack stat on it.
Yeah.
I just done Dragon Breath damage in the meantime, not Fire Spit.
It basically won it KOs it with all the Dragon Breath damage. So I was like, wait. That was where they had 2 shields left.
Yeah, I think it has a lot of versatility. And I think the nice thing that's like, I've used Milotic before, I've used Gyarados before. The nice thing about using those mons is that they're good for breaking up water fire cores or water dragon cores or fire dragon cores or water fire dragon cores. That isn't a thing here because there isn't any dragon and there aren't many fires. Like I think Gyarados and Poliwrath are good generalists. I don't think they have a critical role in the meta. And so having the double weeks to Muck, which given how highly ranked Beware is, how highly ranked Poliwrath and Gyarados are, I think Muck might have a strong role in the meta. And so all of a sudden, I don't want my Flyer to be one-shot by Muck. And Charizard gives me that. Golbat gives me that also. Jumpluff does not because of the poison jabs. Charizard, really good man, I think, here. Really good man.
What I will say, Matt, is if we go back to what Stu said about, a potential, Pelly, Gary team, if Stu was then to whack a Muck into that, team of 6, straight away you've got 3 mons that can do serious damage to a Charizard and also have play outside of a Charizard in the general meta. I know it's only
That's fine.
Mons.
That's fine. I don't have to bring Charizard.
No. But what I'm saying is, do you think it's a big risk of putting it on your team in the first place, knowing that potentially the meta could develop that way?
No.
Same question goes to you, Drew, with Poliwrath.
Exactly.
I'm an idiot. So
yeah, there's no risk at all. As long as I'm not running 6 mons that are like Charizard in that way, like as long as I'm a good core, then it's fine.
But
a lot of people, when you're doing factions, for example, if they've got 2 counters for a mon, you're automatically like, that's a very difficult thing to bring. So what I'm saying is, if you've got Poly, Gary, and then say a Muck, so what we call it, 2.5, 2 3/4, hard counter wise.
We go 3. I'll have to call it 3.
You go 3, okay.
Yeah.
You still think you could bring a Charizard, even in 1 game out of 3?
No.
Yes, I would, because you're not expecting me to bring it.
That's true.
Your whole argument is, I've got 3 hard counters here, so I know you're not bringing Charizard. So when I bring it, you're going to go shit.
And it depends. What are the 3, Drew? If it's Beware, Beedrill, and I don't know, Frostlass, yeah, I might do.
Yeah, okay, granted, yeah, fair. Well, yeah.
And there'll be teams that have Beware, Beedrill, Frostlass and don't have 3 Charizard counters.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
I think Dan used Charizard like really well last month.
He played it
a lot of
well.
gym breakers, like especially I saw a lot of his gym breaker stuff, whether it was against Team UK or when he was playing for Team England, and I like him, and I like to try and pride myself on seeing the spice and stuff and being able to pick out good picks. And Charizard went so far under the radar for me last month, and that was one of the reasons why it went straight into my team this month, was seeing him use it last month, because I was like, that was like, some of it was just magical, to be honest. He absolutely demolished was it Nessa?
He beat Celio.
Celio, not Nessa.
Celio, that was a Celio.
He beat them both, I think.
He did. He beat them both.
He went 5-1.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's like he used Charizard, and I was just like, yeah, okay. And I used Charizard in Brawler, and it was amazing then, but it just sort of I don't know, went under the radar, and I was like, actually, yeah, it is good.
Yeah. I mean, I went all big on Gyarados, trying to get a bit of the Gen 1 hype back. And you just brought the ultimate, Gen 1 one of all time in Charizard and just completely destroyed it.
And also, Stu, to use your original arguments for Charizard as well, you can use it in Great League, you can use it in Ultra League. When it's got the Mega, you can use it in Master League, you can use it in the main series.
Got 2 Megas.
Yeah, 2 Megas. What more do you want? Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
I just realised, right, yous are basically playing Kanto Cup and GBL right now. And then there's me with a fucking Skuntank, and I don't even know where it's from.
I've not played a GBL game in about a week. I've
been prepping. I've been doing a lot recently. But on the subject of Charizard, I don't know if you want another water weakness. That's something which is really putting me off Charizard.
You say another water weakness. What's my first water weakness?
Well, I don't know. But the point is, it's a Mon weak to water, and I'm just not sure I want to be going down that route given the number of water types that are available that are really good this month.
Ooh.
Secondly,
what about? Sorry, go on, Carol.
Secondly, I've always found Charizard a bit awkward to use. I've always seen it as a kind of jack of all trades Mon rather than anything which does something. I feel like it does lots of things okay, but it doesn't do anything amazingly. And it's not the bulkiest of Mons either. In order to use Charizard effectively, I think you need to fire off a Blast Burn. Or at least, I should say land a Blast Burn. And are there enough Mons on a team that won't be, let's say, water type that you can land it on to make it effective? Are there enough Mons weak to fire that justify as well?
Yeah, I'm
finding it a bit awkward here. That's all I have to say on Charizard.
Well, the ghosts aren't taking a Blast Burn here.
No, that's for sure.
Everything will get hit by the Dragon Claw as well, remember, because that's unresisted.
Yeah, exactly. I agree, but Dragon Claw is nice, but it doesn't break anything in this cup.
With a bit of fast move damage from Fire Spin or Dragon Claw, the Dragon Breath.
Yeah. I mean,
you'd be taking
doesn't
it
break
back.
anything either.
Exactly, Aquatail.
But it's spammy. It's spammy Aquatail.
Well, so is Dragon Claw.
Dragon Claw's spammy.
Anyway, we've got less than a minute left on the call, so before we get carried off and cut off, Drew did a great job in stitching these together.
Yeah.
Drew. But thank you guys for joining me. Looking forward to this cup, and best of luck with regionals, everyone.
Yeah, you too, guys.
All right, cheers. Thanks, Matt.
Everyone.
Cheers, guys.
Nice one. See you later.